Are you saying that the angelic beings do not have
the body? They don't have the jasad. And when they become incarnated, in order for you to see them in an etheric form, they must become, a lack of a better word, is a self. And that self in Arabic is nafsa. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So as they leave the stage of ruh, they come into, as they start to personify, the first appearance is the crystallization process, which gives an etheric body, or what people call the presence of a misty or exoplasma or a spirit-like form. And then the next stage, if they continue to slow up in vibration, because it's about vibration, they begin to slow up in vibration, then they start to take on the forms of the magnetic currents that surround the Earth's atmosphere. And finally, they become a physical body, which is governed by a sympathetic nerve system, which is in tune with the magnetic force field that surrounds the planet. You follow? So man is basically in tune with magnetism. That's what keeps his body, his physical composition, which in the Quran is referred to as jasad, keeps it together. And if you was to release the magnets in this planet, all the elements would explode back. All the molecules and atoms will go back, and they will start to reduce themselves and start to vibrate at a more rapid pace, and then man would transform from a physical being into a spiritual being, which would just be the second step.
So where the angelic beings have already split, and I'm trying to...
Yes, the angelic beings split like you did, but this degree. Once you finally got into the earth, you had a conscious and an unconscious, which you refer to as a voluntary and an involuntary system, which would break you down if you was a 360-degree being to a what? 180-degree being. 180 degrees of man's actions activated by his brain are voluntary, and 180 degrees of man's actions by his brain are involuntary functions. If you understand what I mean?
Right.
All right? So if you could split these two down, when you voluntarily do things that you know are bad for you, for instance, to smoke a cigarette, which is really bad for the physical body. So you have to premeditate the dangers and then set out to do it. You see that? That is executing a form of will. And that will, because it's complementary to the physical composition, which is merely a temple for the soul, is an evil act. It manifests as an evil part of will. On the other hand, when you decide to become a vegetarian and to stop drinking alcohol beverages and smoking cigarettes and taking in any kind of drug, you use another side of your voluntary functions, you follow? Which leads into a healthier involuntary participation. I don't know if I'm losing you. I'm trying not to.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
and that would be the good side of things. So the angelic beings are your voluntary and involuntary systems working. The involuntary part are those who are called seraphim, who work by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala faqat, only. And then your voluntary function that you control have incarnated as what is referred to as cherubim or cherubims, wicked beings, which refer to as jinn in the Quran, or the plural for shaitan, and they manifest things on their, doing it according to their own will. You see what I'm saying? Now man has within him both of these attributes.